Hello and welcome to Claire's School of Photography in memory of our John. I went to work for John when I was a teenager as a photography assistant and ended up modelling for him and working in his studio and building up my own business. Here's the Wharf Studio in Devizes. And John really introduced me to myself in many ways, giving me the confidence to model, teaching me to fall in love with light. Just his passion for photography will never leave me. So today I'd like to share some photos from our trip to Lanzarote. These are all taken by my husband on my D800, Nikon D800. And really as well to paint a little bit of a picture of this day. I'm not actually too proud of this, but as I said in a previous video, we'd actually had a few too many cocktails the day before, and I felt quite rough this day. So we'd got up, and I really wanted to get out in the light as early as possible, and I hadn't quite managed it. So I kind of knew that the light, by the time we got to all the venues we wanted to shoot at, was probably going to be too high in the sky, and really it was. The images of me in the swimsuit that you saw previously, really I feel like the light was too bright there. It would have been probably better for if it was a little bit lower in the sky. So I already kind of felt like I was racing against time a little bit here. But also I had a bulging disc in my back, so walking in heels was quite painful. There was dust and things blowing in my eyes from the mountains, and I was generally feeling quite uncomfortable. So you can really kind of tell that in the pictures. And I think there's so many aspects to a good shoot. There's so many factors. It's not just about the light on the day and the scenery. It's about how you're feeling and the energy and how you feel that you look as well, your self-confidence, your self-image, all of those things. And it all kind of comes together to create art, really. And if one of those elements is missing or something's just amiss, you're not feeling confident, perhaps it can be as simple as the hair. You know, the hair is blowing around in the wind on this day, and I just kind of knew my hair didn't look good. And you can just see the tension in my face, just really not feeling like $1,000,000. And that is such a huge part of the whole finished product. And I think that's what John and I were so good at. We were so good at we were absolute perfectionists, you know, we really were perfectionists. And the energy between us, because we were just both so excited and so passionate about photography, the energy in the room shooting with John in the studio was always incredible. So it, you know, as I say, there's so many aspects, and I'm really looking forward to taking some of my best work in 2024. So anyway, I'm going to share a little bit of the editing that I did of these photos. As you can see, by the way, I'm kind of scrolling through Lightroom here, just testing out all the filters. I just didn't feel too inspired by the images. I don't know, they're missing something. And maybe part of that is literally the memory attached. Maybe, I mean, I can really laugh about it. But maybe that is partly the reason that I'm looking at them and not really feeling it, is partly that, knowing that I didn't feel $1,000,000. But also, do you see how, like, the shadow? So the shadow's quite hard, even though the light was fairly low on this morning, but the shadow's quite hard. And you've got this situation where you've got a lot of hard contrast in my dress, and the light on me, because I'm wearing white, or just off-white it was, the light on me is quite kind of hard. You've got this hard shadow in comparison to the kind of hazy, very, very soft contrast in the background. And I really found while I was editing these that I didn't do this, but I kind of wanted to go into Photoshop, select me, invert the selection, sorry, and then bring a little bit of contrast out in the mountains and the hills, but without making it too contrasty on me and the dress, because it already was. Do you see what I mean? So it was one of those images where I sort of couldn't put my finger on what it was that was lacking. I quite like, when I put them in black and white, they had this nice metallic-y look, and I quite like that. But yeah, I maybe we just didn't give it long enough. We kind of got out the car, I quickly walked up and down. I wasn't sure if Adam was really having that much fun either, so I was kind of trying to hurry. And yeah, I feel like there's just something missing, and it could literally be the expression, actually, because when we shot in Fuerteventura in a very similar space, the image just worked, and my hair was a total mess then. So what is it? What is it about these images that are just not doing it for me? I can't put my finger on it. Okay, here's the Fuerteventura shot. So you can feel the warmth, can't you? You can feel the warmth of the sun on my skin. You haven't got as much background. But here, I don't know, the background's kind of quite, as I was saying, quite flat. And then the light on me, even though there's less light, it just feels quite harsh or something. So I don't really know what it is. But I think when I go into Lightroom, I just try and create a little bit of variety. I don't do a massive amount of editing. This is part of the reason that I just wanted to show you what I was doing on this day. But because in this case I was doing loads of trying to find something that brought something out. I just wanted to bring something out of this shoot. So on our next adventure, we will be doing similar shoots, well, mountainous shoots, I would say, and I will be paying attention to every finer detail and making sure we are up and out the door so that we feel relaxed, that we've got enough time with the sun coming up to really explore, because it takes a little while to get into the flow. And if you're busy getting into the flow while the sun is coming up, and then by the time you've found that energy together, the light's wrong, then that's frustrating. So yeah, it's about being prepared, committing to it. See that where do you see what I mean about the background being dark and flat and then everything being the white dress? Maybe it was the wrong colour dress. If I'd have had something on that was slightly darker, I could have exposed for it would have exposed for the background at the same time as the dress, perhaps. Yeah, I just noticed that when I edited that one like that. What do you guys think? I'd love some feedback, because I can't put my finger on why I don't like these pictures that much, apart from the tension in my face, my messy hair, the sunglasses that look really cheap, and just awkward, I think awkward poses because I'm walking as I'm being shot. So I kind of never really, I never found a photo where my pose looked natural and relaxed and just so. So the D3 in that case would have been better for this shoot than the D800 because the D3's got the faster frame rate, hasn't it? So you're going to get more shots per second to choose from. Just want to say a massive thank you to Adam, my husband. I put a camera in his hand. I'm kind of showing him what's what on the camera at the same time as walking up and down, and yeah, he's brilliant. Thanks, Adam. Done? Yeah. Okay, whatever we've got, we've got. Literally could happen at any second. I can't wait.